back to another fabulous confabulation with me, Jay Mills. Now today I have the pleasure of speaking to Leslie Barrett and Diana Salameh, who work at Serino Coyne, one of Broadway's biggest advertising agencies. Some of their clients you may know, a little Broadway show called Dear Evan Hansen, or Ain't Too Proud, Frozen on Broadway, Aladdin on Broadway, and many, many more. So give a welcome to Leslie and Diana.
Hello.
Hi. Y'all. How are you guys? Thank you for coming and chatting with me.
Thanks for having us.
So happy you came up.
So what is a typical day for the both of you?
Ooh, good starter question. I mean, one of the reasons I love the work that I do here, I've been here for just over 12 years, is that no 2 days are the same.
Okay.
And I worked at Disney Theatrical Productions on the client side for many years, and now on the agency side, the real difference for me is, working on our long-running accounts like Disney and Wicked and Dear Evan Hansen, and then we have the great fortune to work on limited engagements, some of our nonprofit subscription clients, shows run for, a handful of weeks. So every day is different, never-ending challenges and opportunities, so it keeps it very interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I start every day trying to figure out what is my goal for today. What is it I want to do? And that goal, like Leslie said, is different every single day.
Nice.
But if you start the day with a sense of what you'd like to accomplish today, it at least helps to guide the day.
Okay. Nice. That's pretty fun that every day is like, oh, what am I going to have to do today? So, Leslie, as a managing director, what are some responsibilities that, that position requires, and what do you typically do?
So again, every day is a little bit different, but after 12 years with the company, I work closely with our CEO, our president, our CFO, and a co-managing director to help run the day-to-day business of the company.
Okay.
So that's everything from developing new business, innovation, looking for new opportunities, not only for our staff, but for our clients. How can we grow? How can we continue to sell as many tickets as possible, right? The majority of our clients have 8 shows a week, 52 weeks a year, and that's a pretty big bucket to fill. I work with Diana in her role as Director of Marketing and Communications, helping to manage some of the marketing work here, and I do a lot of work with the staff. Okay. I really believe that, we try to recognize and serve the whole person that shows up to work every day. And we work very hard and we work very long hours. And we try to make the culture and the environment here as positive and uplifting and joyful as possible.
Nice. So how do you find your creativity-ness?
Oh gosh, I think that creativity comes in all different ways, but I'd say collaboration and conversation with other people is how I do my most creative work. Is you could sit alone and you could try to come up with ideas and you can brainstorm by yourself and you can do all the research, but it doesn't beat getting in a room with someone and talking those ideas out and collaboratively working together. That's when I can be my most creative.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, especially from an acting standpoint. I feel like it's easier to bounce off of a scene partner or working with somebody to make a good scene. So I definitely understand that, the whole collaborative mindset. So what made you ladies work for Serino Coyne? What led you here?
My answer is very simple, and it's 2 words: Nancy Coyne.
Ah, yes, the founder, the woman founder.
Our former CEO and founder. When I was at Disney, Serino Coyne was our advertising agency, and I would sit through many meetings where she would hold court and go toe-to-toe with all of the men at the table, because most of the men at the table were the ones in charge, and Nancy was astounding and charismatic and brilliant and compelling. And I got to the point in my career where I thought, I've come a pretty long way. I've worked hard, I've come a pretty long way, and I wanted to work for somebody who was inspiring and somebody that really had vision. And I sat in Starbucks with Nancy, somebody connected us, and we were having coffee, and she said, well, maybe you'll come work for me. And I said, well, what would I do? And she said, I don't know, we'll figure it out when you get there. And I didn't have to think twice. I accepted the job, and the rest is history. So I was very lucky to have many, many years working for her.
Nice.
My story is not so different, but it's 4 words. It's Nancy Coyne, and then it's Leslie Barrett. It's my story, sort of. I sat in, I think, the same exact Starbucks as Leslie and Nancy.
That's right.
Having conversations.
45th Street.
45th Street. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. And when I was in college, I thought I was going to become a teacher.
Okay.
I was in school studying to become a teacher. Always loved theater.
Okay.
Thought if I was lucky, maybe I'd direct the spring musical at the high school that I taught at, and I'd teach a drama class through my English degree. And then somehow through a series of random events, I was an intern at Serino Coyne. So internships, incredibly important. You will meet people, you will learn what you want to do, you will learn what you don't want to do. I learned through internships that not-for-profit work was not for me. I learned a lot. And I interned here, and on my first day, we met with Nancy Coyne.
Wow.
And she came in, and the reason I wanted to become a teacher is because I thought I could change the world. Like, I thought I could affect people's lives. And Nancy told stories about Broadway, and you know how she tells those stories about Broadway. And I realized that you are changing the world by doing the thing that you feel most passionately about. And for me, it was theater. And if I could work in a job where I could bring theater to more people by advertising and marketing it, then that was the thing that I should do with the rest of my life. So I was 21 years old, and I knew that's it. I found it. I found the thing I want to do with the rest of my life. And I met Leslie Barrett that same day. And I sat across from her in an office across from her as an intern. And she took me under her wing that summer. And we stayed in touch and sat at that Starbucks many times and had lunch. And that's why connections are so important. And one day, Leslie finally had a job for me.
Wow.
And she said, "Do you want to come work here?" And I said yes. And that was 8.5 years ago. And I never looked back. And Leslie, you've been here for 12 years. So
12 years.
I think a lot of people come and don't leave because it's a great
Nice.
place to work.
Nice. Yeah, that's one thing that stood out to me, that, the CEO of Serino Coyne was a woman. And I remember when you guys came to NYU, it was like the woman of Serino Coyne. So would you say that there's a sisterhood here at Serino Coyne?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, Diana knows the statistics, but I think we're over 50%
Yeah.
female, and then
We're over
manager level.
50% women in the agency, and then at the director level and above, we're 53% female, which is really extraordinary.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we still very much have a founder culture. So Nancy's legacy lives and breathes in the hallways, and I think permeates everything we do here.
Nice, nice. And you were speaking of internships, which I do believe is very important. So for the beauties who are interested in maybe, interning at Serino Coyne or other places, what is some advice that you can give them, and what are some qualities they, should have if they were to intern here?
Yeah. There's a new resource at the Broadway League, which is the trade organization that oversees all things in the Broadway and the theater space. They oversee this entire industry. They have a new resource called Broadway.careers.
Okay.
Visit that website, and they have every company listed across the country, not just in New York, that you might be able to go intern at or work at. So that's the local theater in Tennessee to Serino Coyne. And I recommend going there and doing your research on what the companies are, what they do, where they're located, because Broadway is not just a place in New York, it's a state of mind. It's an art form, and it happens all around the country. So look it up, do your research, look up companies, and then reach out to people who work at those companies. And try to have informational interviews, try to get to know people, get your foot in the door even when there's not an internship, because when those internships come along and those entry-level jobs come along, they're gonna remember you. And they're going to already have your foot in the door.
Nice. You were saying that you volunteer at a high school. Do you guys volunteer as a company ever, or individually do you guys volunteer and give back?
We do, actually. As a company, we have a policy called Give a Day, Get a Day. So you can volunteer a day, and that's an additional vacation day that you can take that you don't have to take from your normal vacation pool. But we have a culture of community support and involvement here that has really developed nicely over the years. It's everything from doing special events for children that are living at the Ronald McDonald House, battling pediatric cancer. We've done outdoor barbecues. One of our art directors built a chest and it was all Broadway branded, and we all brought in costumes, and we did a big dress up night, and he actually built a makeup table, and we did the kids' makeup. It was amazing. AIDS walks, Habitat for Humanity, you name it, we do it. We also do pro bono work here as an agency, so we allocate a certain number of hours per year that we dedicate to nonprofit organizations that we all care about and support.
Nice. Now, how does Serino Coyne find their clients?
Sometimes we find them, sometimes they find us.
Okay.
We have, it comes in so many different ways. And it used to be years ago that clients would just come to Serino Coyne. There was quite a bit of time when we were the only real game in town, and we've got some incredible competitors now. And what's been great about the competitors is we just have to elevate our game.
Okay.
And essentially a rising tide lifts all ships. So we've only gotten better and innovated because of those competitors, but we pitch a lot, and pitching is stressful, but we do have clients that have been with us for years. Most Broadway producers are very passionate and very prolific, and if they produce once, they're going to produce over and over again, and if we've done our job right, they come back, and we don't pitch. Sometimes we'll seek out clients, somebody who's working on something interesting, something that we've gone to see out of town that we would love to see at our agency. So really, new business, new accounts, and clients and producers come to us in a variety of different ways now.
Nice. And what would you say is your most memorable, moment here at Serino Coyne, or you're the funnest time you've had here?
Memorable or fun times?
Yes.
There are many.
How do you pick one?
We have a killer holiday party.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Killer holiday party. Everyone performs. It's a little crazy, but it's amazing because we're all performers in our hearts.
At heart.
I think, coming up with an idea for a client, and as a team collaborating together, feeling proud about what we've come up with, and going into the room and presenting it to a client and having it be well received feels really good.
Yeah.
That feels really good. Something we have to keep in mind, our producers have been working on these projects for years. They've raised a lot of money before they even get to the ad agency. So these are literally their children. And the more care and attention we can take with this beautiful thing that they've created, going in the room and having something be well received, to me is just the gift that keeps on giving.
This is such a to your point, Leslie, this is such a human business on every side of it. I mean, it's live theater, first of all, so it's the art form itself is very human, but the people here are amazing, the people that work here are amazing, our clients are amazing, and seeing human success has been the best thing. And that's in just walking around and seeing somebody get a promotion here, or watching our clients, if they're lucky enough to accept a Tony Award, and seeing them on stage. Such a surreal moment to see somebody on television accepting a Tony Award in their beautiful gown or in their tux. Those are the moments that feel overwhelming, and you feel really proud to work here and work in this industry.
Wow, that seems so cool. I need to work here.
Come on down.
So when you guys came to NYU, you guys gave so much good advice, and that's why I had to do an interview for my blog. So I want to know if you can give any last advice to the beauties, who, just for anything, just any good advice, because you guys gave some really good advice at NYU.
Well, beauties, I will say, always show up curious, and always show up as yourself, whatever you think that means. As Tracy Ellis Ross just said, follow your own script. You don't show up every day trying to follow somebody else's script, and for anybody in the performing arts, you'll know exactly what that means. You just follow your own script every day. I think curiosity is endlessly important in the workplace and just in life in general. I think showing up ready to actually do the work is really important, and being kind. And being kind and gentle with the people around you, and most importantly with yourself.
I like that.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
I like that.
Wow.
I'm gonna replay this a lot on days where I'm feeling like I need that. I will say to the beauties that if you are trying to learn how to do something or how to be better at something, put those skills aside for a minute and focus on confidence. Because at the end of the day, it all ladders back to confidence. If you're trying to become a better public speaker, don't worry about the ums and the likes and slowing down your pace. learn that you have something important to say.
Mhm.
And then the ums and the likes and slowing down your pace, that's all gonna come. You know, to Leslie's point about coming prepared, confidence gets built from that. So learn to do that. And then as a second really, really important thing, laugh more. Because humor is just the best thing in the whole world, isn't it? Laughing.
is.
Look at how much we laughed today.
I know.
And you're in a much better mood because of it. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, ladies.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you
you.
for having
This
us.
was so wonderful. But before we go, I do have a little gift for both of you.
Oh,
Here you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Go,
so
you
much.
Open
So
it,
lovely.
open it for the
you
camera.
are the best. Oh gosh, let's see.
Unboxing.
Right, it's an
I love it.
unboxing.
We're like influencers.
No way.
Check this
So
out.
No
it's
way.
a Girls with Beauty and Brains.
Girls with
Oh my
Beauty.
god,
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Match. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Snap a
much.
little picture
Yes.
of this.
Yes,
sure will.
We will tag you.
Remember that Diana and Leslie are both girls with beauty and brains, and so are you. Bye.
Bye.